I'm Tony Eccles, and I'm Curator of Ethnography, and I'm here with artist Ashanti Hare. Why don't you tell us about the inspiration behind your work?
My practice focuses on magic, spiritualism, specifically from global majority cultures. Whenever there's a collection that has magic or contains objects around spiritualism, I find it really interesting how cultures use the materials around them and artwork to create meaning and magic and power in regards to their spiritual practices.
And so what sort of artwork are you producing for the museum?
So I've been commissioned to do a performance, but because my practice is multidisciplinary, that encompasses making as well as performing, I was interested in creating a performance around water spirits and the River Exe becoming sentient and what that would look like and what tools I would use to do that. And I think the Minkisi were perfect for that sort of ritual.
The Nkisi in particular are tools of the Nganga, this priest class of the Congo peoples of Central Africa. The collection here in Exeter was brought to us by Richard Dennett, who was an ivory rubber trader with Hatton and Cookson. I think what's really interesting about this collection is that it does nicely link to the water, the river that separates the world of the ancestors and the living in Congo cosmology.
Yes, I like this shell piece in particular because of their significance in water and spiritual rituals.
These are land snails. They are collected from the river that Dennett worked along. Because he was trading along that river to reach the interior, he immersed himself in Congolese society. Some of those items reflect his membership to a cult called Lemba. And in the 19th century, that became quite a significant trading guild, which was hiring magistrates and traders and priests. Dennett acquired the nkutu, the impu, the headdress, which were made for him, so it sort of reflects the sort of status, his status within Congolese society. But some of the Nkisi are definitely healing figures, which ties in with your interest. We see Kailin in the Congolese language, it translates as Mfembe, white, which is also Mpembe, the land of the ancestors, the world of the ancestors, which is water. The world of the dead is the sea, in and beneath it. Tell us about the use of mirrors in your work.
Well, mirrors are a massive symbol for water and crossing over, becoming a bridge from the dead and the ancestors and planting them back into what is happening now.
So are you becoming, therefore, like a modern Nganga?
Yeah, so I kind of want to embody the river spirit and talk to what is happening now.
So with the Nkisi that you're making, that's going to be charged by yourself?
Yes.
I find this fascinating that the carver who's commissioned to produce the main figure, he's not the one that injects agency, the supernatural energy into it. It's the priest that does that, enhances its appearance with medicine, this belongo, which you're actually going to be putting into your figure as well, with pouches dangling off it, which is very much in the traditional way that it's made. And then they sort of reside in the hut until they're needed. Have you got any thoughts as to how you are going to use the Nkisi in your performance then?
So I've sort of made my Nkisi into a musical instrument with bells, and that is a big part of my performance, is using drums and sound to call in the spirits and ancestors. So it will be used at the very beginning of the performance, and then I will put it on the altar as an offering to the ancestors and spirits that will be present.
See, I find this process really interesting because we have like Dennett's biographies from the time of the 19th century, but we don't really know a lot about how they're used. We've got examples, but not the preparation that the Nganga puts into making these things and how then they're presented. The Nkisi Nkondi, for example, this figure that restores It's antisocial behaviour. It restores peace to the community. It restores order, and it's plonked there. But how is it presented to the public? There are examples where a priest has a slave who carries the piece on their back with the nails protruding from it. That's why I was asking you about whether you were going to do this in your presentation.
I think that wouldn't necessarily go with what the narrative of that would, but it will have nails present.
Okay.
For.
So you're going to have this private ceremonial piece
Yeah.
for yourself, and then you'll have the public performance. That's going to be very, very interesting.